F1 2016 marks Codemasters' 8th iteration of the Formula 1 title, if you include F1 2009, which bizarrely only released on the Wii. After 8 iterations, has Codemasters finally made the perfect Formula 1 game? Simply put, F1 2016 is Codemasters' best F1 game to date. I did initially have some random issues from the game force closing, not being able to save or even start, but after verifying the game files, a quick reboot and uninstalling one program, the game seems happy again. Time will tell if the same issues return. Overall, the game runs great at a considerably higher frame rate than the previous titles, pushing the hundreds in places and otherwise sitting at 90 frames per second on high settings. I'm using a GTX 780 at 1080p and the game defaulted to high settings, and on max it gave a perfectly acceptable 60 frames per second. So, if you have a 980 like the game recommends, you should get an even better experience. There's an impressive amount of attention to detail on display. They've successfully gamified F1 and gotten across the more important technical aspects of the sport. Codemasters has made changes to the free practice modes and have refined the free practice objectives. Each objective you meet gives you points to upgrade your car during the season, and for me this makes free practice worth doing again. For example, the tyre wear test teaches you how to go faster whilst preserving your tyres. You'll find yourself improving lap after lap, and yet your tyre wear will get progressively better as your driving style becomes smoother. Track acclimatization is something else Codemasters has put in. You get a series of gates to go through around the track, and the faster and more accurately you pass through them, the higher your score and the more development points you get. This not only teaches you to go fast but also correct car positioning. Your personal tyre wear data can also be used to create your pit strategy during the race, which is great. Speaking of pit strategies, the game can now suggest new strategies on the fly depending on what's happening in the race, so it's just like the real sport. On top of all that, if that wasn't enough, tiny differences like fuel load and tyre wear make a huge difference to the handling. Development points aren't just restricted to free practice. Development points are up for grabs all the way through a career mode weekend, be it for meeting a team objective, completing a certain number of laps in a session, beating your rival, or taking home the big prize of a race win. Your performance not only nets you development points, but affects your standing within the team on the way to the coveted position of number 1 driver. The development points you earn act as an R&D currency, so the better you perform, the more points you have and the faster you can get those sweet R&D upgrades. You get to choose the development of your team in career mode, and as your on-track performance ties into so many different things, it's important to get out there and let your driving do the talking. With a 10-season career mode, you can really stamp your authority within the team. Career mode boasts a leaderboard section which compares you against other players based on the points you have earned, so the competitive types should get their kick out of that. Online is fully featured, but unfortunately sees the return of hopper lobbies for sprint races. It would have been nice to have a session list like the custom races have, as too often I would leave a lobby, search for a new one, and then get dropped back in the same lobby. Custom sessions have no such issue, as the game provides a session browser, so you can make informed decisions on which lobby to join. Players online are as you'd expect in any racing game, and it's a shame nothing is being done, such as harsher penalties and safeguards such as ghosting blue flagged opponents to curb negative behavior, as it ruins what could be an amazing experience. AI also suffer incidents, penalties and mechanical failures, which should make the racing more interesting and unpredictable. I'm just getting stuck into the career mode and so far so good. Everything you'd expect is present. In races, blue flag AI works as it should, unlike some of the previous titles, and I had little trouble getting past in the quick races I did. The safety car is here too, along with formation laps, and these are all bug free and working as intended so far. The only thing I would say is on the formation lap the AI is too fast. They will go at racing speed off the line and will overtake you if you decide to slow down and do any tyre warming. I haven't seen them attempt to do any such tyre warming so far. The game also boasts support for custom drivers, where you pick what you look like, your number, name, 3-letter abbreviation, etc. and while this is a great addition, it would have been nice to see some more diversity in the faces, if you know what I'm saying. This feature could be further improved by letting the player choose an audio name. Other games from Codemasters allow it, so why not here? If this was allowed, the commentators and pit crew could address you by name rather than a insert car name here.
Caution, caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens.
Sound design is near perfect, with the engines sounding that little bit different to each other and the turbo whine, which some may find annoying, coming through on top. Coupled with expanded pit radio commands, this is a very immersive title. I would have liked to see the little MFD they have show up in a easier to read spot, because at the moment where it is, I end up taking my eyes off the road a bit too often. The Xbox One controller is supported and the cars handle brilliantly on there, especially when you have a custom setup applied. The cars are tricky to handle and you can lose the back end incredibly easily if you're not careful. Setups see the addition of Steam Workshop support. You can browse the workshop at the start of a session or race and download a setup straight into your game for use there and then. This brilliant addition means if you're like me and don't want to spend a long time setting the car up, you can grab one from the workshop and be on your way. So far, F1 2016 is a great game. I could go on as there's so much more to this game than this video review allows me time for. It takes the sport of Formula 1 and faithfully recreates and gamifies it in what seems to be this series' Dirt Rally moment. It brings in features fans have been asking for, makes newcomers welcome with features like the video tutorials, and refines old features with a level of polish we haven't seen from this series in a long time. Purists can argue that the lack of a young driver test is a big negative, but honestly it's removing features like that which allow me to jump into a front-running team in my first season. Provided you're not unlucky like I am when it comes to games working properly, F1 2016 shouldn't disappoint.